Today we are going to be talking about why I'm not showing my child online anymore from a mom content creator. I have wrote out a lot here. I don't know, do I share my whole story? Is that necessary? Maybe if somebody watches this video that doesn't necessarily know me, or you have watched me and you haven't watched my whole journey, I feel like I will do a backstory. And I wasn't planning on making this video at all until a lot of people were very confused as to why I was not showing my daughter anymore. And I have seen other content creators take this path, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anyone has ever sat down and made a video why. And I had those same thoughts because I thought it was obvious, but maybe it's because I'm in this space. So when I would see other people just suddenly stop showing their kids, I understood. But I do have a story, I do have reasons, and maybe they will make you think differently, or maybe just end the curiosity of why I and possibly other people take this route. I'll quickly share my overall journey as a content creator, just in case, again, you don't know me. And also, I feel like you have to know my journey to understand the reasons and how I came to these conclusions. And also, you know, how I got into the position of being a mom influencer, I hate that word, content creator. I have been on the internet since forever, but I've been making YouTube videos since 2009, and I did not become pregnant and a mom until 2019, 2020. And so I was a content creator for a very, very long time until I went into the motherhood, parent, family vlog category. Back in 2009, the internet and YouTube was a completely different place, and it was really just a wonderful community and a way to find people with shared passions. There was no money involved, there was no AdSense, there were no sponsorships, partnerships, networks, nothing. It was really my escape while I was in high school at the time, and also college, kind of going into the 2010, 2011. YouTube was always my safe place and my escape, and once I got to a place years into my journey where it could become my full-time job, I was obsessed, and it has been a huge part of my life. I mean, over a decade. And flash forward into 2019 when I finally became pregnant after trying, and I was like, oh my god, I've been trying for this, it's happening now. I deep dived into my safe place, YouTube, and found so many wonderful channels that made me feel so much more educated, ready for this journey, prepared, watching other families and how different moms navigated different ways of parenting and breastfeeding and birth and packing your hospital bag. But I did feel like there was one thing lacking a little bit as I went through my journey, and some people did do a good job of it, but the real, honest, raw reality of everything. I was seeing a lot of highlight reels, and so I was like, I feel so passionate about making content that is for mothers, that is honest, that is, you know, also helpful, educational, funny, uplifting, but a safe place. And I was able to build that, and that's what it was. And suddenly, smack dab in the middle of my pregnancy, became the worldwide pandemic. The world shut down. Lives changed for so many people in so many ways, but I know if you were pregnant or a new mom during that time, those things alone are so isolating, but on top of it, you're actually isolated, a lot of times separated from family. You don't have in-person mom support groups. I feel like a lot of people, including myself, looked to online. I was really proud I was able to create content that helped so many people, including myself, while we were all stuck in home living this weird time in life. And this is important to note. I was not leaving my house at this time at all. And I feel like this kind of led to me being in this bubble of safety and community that the internet was in my head, and not seeing what it potentially could be, which we'll get into now. Which leads us into the monumental personal moments that changed my opinion to the mom I am now. Number one being the parasocial relationship in real life. Now, remember my story before, and why I explained it is so much of it was not real. We weren't really living in a real world at that time. I was not leaving my house. I was not being recognized. I was not being able to take my kid to mommy and me classes, gym classes, dance classes, school. It was very different. And please do not take this the wrong way. I absolutely adore the relationship that blossomed between me and other mothers, and again, it carried me through some really dark times, and I know for a lot of you it did as well. But it wasn't until I realized the implications of the real life impact of a parasocial relationship. I am not blaming anyone for coming up and saying hi, because it was 100% of the time the sweetest interactions. One of my closest friends now, I met in line with my daughter, and she was with her daughter. We were getting donuts, and she, was like, I watched your videos. Thank you so much for sharing your postpartum body experience and all the real and raw of what really happens and occurs, post-birth. You see me, I really do appreciate these relationships. It was one specific moment that altered my brain chemistry. If this mom is watching this, you did not do anything wrong. This is a situation in which I created. It just in the way it happened flipped something in my brain, and honestly, I want to say thank you. What happened was we were recognized at a class we were taking, and she was so sweet, such a lovely mom. She was very respectful, said very sweet things. What happened was so small, and that was she said hi to my daughter by name. And again, a situation I completely created. The thing that flipped a switch, though, is that this was an innocent and sweet interaction, but there are awful people out there, and my child is so young, and I don't know at what point kids can fully understand, one, what it is I do, but strangers in general. And to have a stranger be able to know your child by name and say hi to them is alarming, because a child at this age, if somebody knows their name, knows their mom's name, knows things about their life, suddenly that potential stranger that could be a very negative person has easily engulfed a child into a false sense of security. That was the flip that switched in my head. And thankfully, I do not use my real name on the internet. My ex-husband doesn't. His girlfriend doesn't. My daughter doesn't for the most part. But still, I saw how this could potentially be very scary, especially because as my daughter this is before she was 3, I realized there were going to be situations where I was not present, whether it is at preschool or something, and yeah, I'm not going to be around all the time. It could potentially be a very scary situation. So alarm bells. Number 2 reason, the boom of AI. And this is something I did not see coming. The thought of it and the implications on what it could have for children really does scare me, and I'm hoping that there are strong regulations put into place very soon, but it's brand new and it's booming, and I don't know where it's going to go, and I don't want my child to be a part of it. Number 3, the dark side of the internet. Now, as someone who has been on the internet for over a decade, the worst I have seen in my personal experience is just negative comments. I wasn't fully aware until and I don't want to name this child, but there was a TikToker, and I don't want to shame any moms or anything. It's like, from my point of view, if a mom watches it, I get it's a cute, innocent video, and unfortunately, there are really dark people in this world with really sinister, I don't know, things coming out of them and in their brain. They're consuming this innocent content as something really dark. And I'll be honest, I didn't get it for a while, because from my, this is a safe place community, we're all moms, I see a cute outfit of the day of a child, and there is not a single bad thought in my brain. I'm just like, oh, that's so cute, I love it. And I know it's naive of me, but just because I see something as sweet and innocent doesn't mean that somebody with dark intentions can take that and use it for sinister reasons. I really wish we lived in a world where this wasn't a factor, because I get it. As a mom, you are so obsessed with your child, and what do you do with the people you love and cherish? You want to scream it from the rooftop and show it, and unfortunately, there are people that are consuming it that you don't even, think about, and they're just not good people. Number 4, and this all occurred in a span of 1 month. There were 3 totally different situations that led to these influencers taking their children off the internet or limiting the amount in which they post. And these stories, honestly, I probably shouldn't even know most of this information because it didn't come directly from them. It came from people I just know within the industry. They were also reasons that didn't even cross my mind. One was inappropriate exchange in some type of meetup. I don't remember. Something where you do like a meet and greet with people that watch your videos, which I have done in the past and has been a beautiful and fun experience. I don't know the full extent of the story, but I know that it was a significant enough exchange that the child is not on the internet anymore. There's also been, how do I approach this one? I can say a significant tragic scenario involving the family led to removing the child off the internet, and that just was something that had never even crossed my mind as a possibility. And then how would you handle that? And there is no right way, to handle it, of saying what's going on or not going on. And I'm not going to touch on that one anymore. So I'll just move into the third one, which is somebody being filmed with their child without their consent. And these things just hadn't crossed my mind because I don't know. Again, this whole past 3 years haven't really felt like real life. And now that I'm integrating back into real life and my baby is becoming a little girl, a child, and so many things are becoming real and reality, and I feel like I lived in this bubble that I thought I had created, which was a very safe, loving mom community, and while I still do skew 97 to 98% female between the ages of 24, I think, to 40, which I think is a pretty safe bomb-ass group of women, there's that other 2-3%, with the exception of, a dad watching this, and of course, I want to give him some, good information to support his child and his wife navigate through this hard time, but there's that small percentage that could not be a safe bubble community that I fell in love with. And now, as I'm watching my child and blossom into a little girl, just growing up, finding herself, becoming who she is. I didn't want a consistent digital footprint throughout her life defining who she is. I think a lot of people are going to ask why I have my old content up, and as of right now, I do. And something I have learned, an obvious but great lesson for everyone, is even if you delete something and you post it on the internet, doesn't mean it's gone. Once something's on the internet, it's there forever. I am still so proud, even with everything I've said, of the videos I was able to create to help moms throughout this difficult journey, of all the tips, all of the advice, all the educational videos, all of the real and raw vlogs that still to this day, just before making this video, I received the sweetest comment of just someone truly authentically felt support that they so desperately needed through a difficult time. And there are new moms all the time, and I feel like those videos stand the test of time. But again, I'm obviously always evolving and growing and changing. I am not staying stagnant. The more I learn, maybe I will decide to private some videos. I'm open to growth, but that's why the videos still stand right now. If you know me, this should go without saying, but this is a judgment-free zone. I have absolutely zero judgment for any person, whether you are a content creator or just somebody who really loves to share photos on your Instagram, on your Facebook of your family. Obviously, everyone has their own experience and they're on their own journey. I do not think it makes you a bad person, unless if you're taking videos that could be slightly provocative, if you're pranking your kids. You are their safe place, their safe space. They're gonna learn who and how to trust through you. And so as long as, you know, you're doing your journey while still creating a safe place, having trust, then you do whatever makes sense to you. I am obviously in a different category of people that I don't know being able to recognize me in public. So I've had to take a more severe journey switch. At the end of the day, I know there are going to be people that watch my channel and after making this video still don't understand and are upset about the change of my channel, but I promise I'm still gonna deliver amazing, helpful videos. I'm still gonna be myself. I'm still gonna show the real, the raw, the honest. I still have tons of video ideas. And I truly wish we lived in a world where this wasn't the case and we still had just a beautiful, safe motherhood bubble, but unfortunately we don't. And I hope that you stay with me and a part of my channel, and if you don't, that's okay, because the only opinion that really matters to me is that of my daughter. And that is the end of the video. Bye.